Good evening and welcome to the Football Bond Podcast, where this dad and daughter team, I'm Dad, I'm Chris.
I'm daughter, I'm Kara.
We cover NFL games each week. This is week 4. If you've missed our previous podcast, we're available on YouTube. Just search at the Football Bond and you can find our full podcast there. You can also find us on TikTok at the Football Bond. And we just like to have a good time. We're talking about NFL football, and of course, my daughter knows more about football than half you boys watching this. So that's one of the reasons it's our bond. And we really enjoy it. So we'll get into this week's games. And, let me make a little disclaimer. We try to get too fancy. And
we didn't like it.
We simple people. You know, we didn't, all that microphones and all that stuff.
Too much.
The magic of one iPhone is taking care of business. So
also, this week, we went back to our roots. I'm back in my Dak Prescott jersey.
Me, I got the
new Buffalo Bills jersey.
New Josh Allen Bills jersey. Yes. So anyway, let's get into the games this week. A lot of things happened, and we're just going to cover what's out there. And again, you know the deal. Like, follow, share, and we really appreciate your support. All right, Thursday night's game, we had the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Now, this is one of those NFC West rivalry matchup kind of situations, and it was a ball game.
It was a little bit more eventful than I was expecting it to be. I didn't like the Cardinals' uniforms. I thought they looked like they stood on the side of the road like they needed help and somebody drove their mud puddle.
But that's what it was about. It's the rival uniform they wore. And it looked a little dirty, which was kind of cool, you know. The helmet was matching, and I'm sure you can buy all that stuff somewhere. But as far as football actually going, it was back and forth. Nothing really exciting that stands out to me in that game. I just know that the Seahawks came away with a win. And the Cardinals, they need a lot. They need Marvin Harrison to continue to catch the football. I know that sounds basic, but catch the ball. You know, you got to do that.
Isn't that what he gets paid to do?
That's what I always thought. All right, next up, we got the Steelers and the Vikings. And they were in good old Ireland there this morning there on 9:30 start there on Sunday. They were thinking their lucky charms. They was. Yes, they were, laddies. But they were in Dublin. I heard rumors that Aaron Rodgers was drunk. He smiled a lot.
He did.
So he might have been. He did say he hit no Guinness or two there. He did, you know. So, but this football game told me two things. Told me, number one, that Aaron Rodgers can still play. I mean, he can still play. It told me that Carson Wentz needs to stop playing. He had his time. I don't know what happened to him, but I just don't think there's enough continuity there for him and the Vikings. And with all those weapons, I mean, the Vikings have got a tremendous football team, but it just don't mesh well. The Steelers, you can tell, their defense is really coming on its own. They are getting it all together. You got Jalen Ramsey. You can see all those different guys just coming into this thing where you don't see that with the Vikings. I'm sorry.
But I will say, like I said last week, is the Vikings were so high and then low and then high again. It was kind of nice to see them go against somebody it was actually a good game. It wasn't a complete blowout. I mean, they put up 21 points. So it was good to see, okay, well, they didn't lose 22-9, but they also didn't win 48-10 or whatever. So it was good to see them kind of meet their match.
Well, it's also good, too, because I can promise you, every fan that was there wasn't from the United States. I mean, I would say 90% of them were from Ireland, and they had on the clothes. They had up a pro shop for them. They was buying stuff left and right. Either side, Steelers or Vikings, they were cheering. They had terrible towels. They had all the stuff you would have seen if they'd have been right here in the United States. So it's good that football is expanding to other countries, and who knows, maybe one day there may be a team from another country.
Who knows?
You never know.
Falcons, Commanders. It was a decent game. Mariota, I mean, he's proving in Washington that if Jaden Daniels goes out, he can hold his own. Last week, he did pretty good. They won. This week, I mean, they put up 27 points. It was a really competitive game. That's always one game that I remember from us being season ticket holders in Atlanta. It's a game that you might not think it's a rivalry, but there's definitely some tension in that one.
There's some tension there.
Falcons side, Penix, he looked good. Him and Bijan, I think every one of his running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends got a touchdown. So it was a good day for Atlanta. They just simply outplayed the Commanders a little bit.
Well, I hoped that last week's 30-0 loss to the lowly Carolina Panthers was at least a swift kick in the rear end for somebody. And obviously, in this game, they decided, oh yeah, we're playing this game too. So that was really good to see, and really good to see the Falcons organization kind of come together and get that win. Oh, next up we got the Bills and the Saints. Now let me tell you something. As a Bills fan, Bills were 3-0, Saints were 0-3. The Saints should have never scored the first point in the entire game. I'm sorry. I understand the final score was 31-19. It did get a little hairy there toward the end. I'm not impressed. McDermott, you got to do better. We need more. Do not let off the gas. You can't take a team like the Saints for granted and wonder, oh, well, they're not the Drew Brees Saints anymore. They're the Kellen Moore-led Saints.
With Spencer Rattler, who
is about as soft as a Klondike bar. I'm just not. I'm not a fan yet. I still believe that the guy that got waiting in the wings, Stowe, he's going to show you what an NFL quarterback's supposed to look like. I don't know if they owe somebody money. They made somebody's mama a bet. I don't know. But Spencer Rattler,
he's not an NFL quarterback.
He came around, reminds me a lot of Bryce Young.
Yes.
He has some tools. He has some mobility. He has some tools to him that they would just be better suited for the lingerie league. All right. So next game, we got the Lions versus the Browns. Now, if everybody saw the Browns versus Packers game, we were all surprised that the Packers lost 13-10. Well, the Browns got their 10, but the Lions said, no, we you ain't doing this to us. Mm-mm. And they continued with that running game. I tell you what, Gibbs and Montgomery, they are just running the ball down your throat.
And one thing about those two is, even if they run straight up the middle, which is one thing I personally hate, they will run over you. I mean, they're ruthless. They don't care. The Lions, that's one thing I love about Dan Campbell is the way he runs his offense. He knows what he's doing, and he doesn't want to hear what anyone has to say because whatever he's doing is working.
It is working.
They look great. I feel like the Lions have a really good chance of going pretty far this year if they keep up the same momentum that they've got right now. So that was a good game. The Browns obviously didn't do anything, but that's not really surprising to anybody. So,
yeah. Next game, the Texans versus the Titans. The Texans won 26-0. 26-0. Now, the previous week, the Texans looked terrible. This week, the Texans looked just as terrible. They just were playing the Titans, who looked more terribler. That's not even a word.
That's not a word.
Yeah, they look worse. They look bad. Brian Callahan probably lives in Brentwood, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville, a little south. I hope his home is for sale because he ain't gonna make it to.
He'll be lucky to make it next week. I mean, they've got Cam Ward, and everybody's like, oh my God, Cam Ward. Yes, Cam Ward is out there on an island because ain't nobody catching his.
He can't throw it to himself.
No.
He can't run it every play. He doesn't play defense. Obviously, their defense didn't play defense either. I just hate that for a team that has such a history. And, you remember, they used to be the Houston Oilers. Mm-hmm. And they moved from Houston and became the Tennessee Titans years ago. And it's just sad.
I will say, though, I was glad to see the Texans do something. I'm glad to see that this wasn't like a 3-0 game because I mean, we've seen those games before. But the Texans have not had a good start to this season.
Definitely not.
They haven't looked good. They haven't communicated good. They've just been all around bad. So it was nice to see them put up 26 points. I hope that this might be the turning point, that they get their momentum. But I guess we'll see what happens next week.
I guess so. Next game was the Giants and the Chargers. Now, this game was pretty good.
It was.
It was the debut, we'll use that term,
Yeah.
of Jackson Dart
Lightly.
at quarterback. Even saw on the ticker that they're already talking about trading Russell Wilson. Yeah, there's some teams that need him, like, I don't know, Tennessee Titans. But Jackson Dart ain't going to live long in this league because he's still playing like he's in college.
Yeah.
I appreciate the young man's athletic ability. I appreciate his willingness to make a play. He's not the size of Josh Allen. He's a good-sized kid, but he's still a kid. He's going to have to learn how to slide. He's going to have to learn to. He's not the one that needs to be sacrificing his body. But this game went back and forth. Poor old Justin Herbert, though.
He went through it.
He had a time. That Giants defense got after him on the regular. And if we remember the Giants-Cowboys game a few weeks ago, the Giants were playing ball. You know, it wasn't a lay-down situation. So I'm not mad that the Giants won. I think it is kind of... it's not, though, like they kind of played it up like, oh, Jackson... I don't look at it that way.
No, but I will say... everybody's been kind of anticipating when is Jackson Dart gonna play. Like, they switched off in the Dallas game, whatever. He did good for his debut. I mean, I feel like he might be, I'm not gonna say that he's a little overhyped yet, but he needs to be behind Russell Wilson this year. I know they want to trade him. I know they don't want to pay the man, but I think that he needs to be behind a veteran quarterback that can teach him the things that he needs to be taught. He needs to be taught, hey, bud, you don't sacrifice yourself. Like, you don't need to be the one out there making every single play. You don't have to score every single touchdown.
Yeah.
So
he's just not that. I hope that he survives. But I just, you've seen it all the time. Running quarterback in college, goes to the NFL, they make him a pocket passer, and he goes to crap. You know, it is what it is. Next game, we got the Patriots versus the Panthers. Unfortunately, we had to see parts of this game. It was about as exciting as watching the Panthers, which is not very exciting.
I mean, on the other side of the ball, the Patriots, I like Drake May. I think Drake May is fitting in New England so good.
But the difference, too, Drake May, when he was at North Carolina, was a pocket presence quarterback. He was already running a pro NFL set already.
Yep.
So he understands what it takes. But now, too, he did break out and score a touchdown on his own.
He did.
But you didn't see him get trucked. You didn't see him run into three defenders. He did make plays, but at the same time, I think that Drake, he's going to turn into a lot for them. And the Patriots really needed this win. They needed to score points. So did the Panthers, but we know the story there. And you hate it for a football team. At least they have won a game.
Might be the only one this season.
It may be, but that's okay.
All right, Eagles Bucks. We picked this game. We both had faith in Baker Mayfield, and
I still do.
I don't like him personally, but I just
do.
hate the Eagles even more. So I just had to pick one.
I'm telling you, if there would have been the problem with the Bucks don't do anything in the first quarter, and then they get behind, and then they take 3 quarters and start playing football, and it looks good. And the problem is, you would say, if they just have one more quarter, I bet they could. They did have one more quarter. It was the first one.
But they didn't do anything.
But they didn't do anything then. And I'm just surprised, I guess, at Todd Bowles that he allows that slow start kind of mentality. Of course, you also got to have the ball. You know, the Eagles' time of possession was really good. They they were making 14-play drives.
But one thing about this game that I've noticed, and I'm not saying that the Bucks have had an easy start to the year, but they haven't played a team like the Eagles. I mean, and I think that's one thing. Baker gets comfortable in that first quarter, and he's like, okay, like they're not really doing much because that's what he's used to.
Yeah.
Now, Egbuka, number 2, I finally learned his name on the Bucks. I will be ordering a jersey. I like him. He can make a play, that's for sure. Him and Baker, they're on good terms. I mean, the Eagles, honestly, I think it was just a tush push that they faked them out.
The fake tush push to me was better than the real tush push.
And I agree, but I mean, if it wasn't for that play, then they probably would have been in the same situation as Dallas this week. So
probably so. All right, we had the Rams versus the Colts. Again, as us being Georgia Bulldog fans, we're going to pull for Matt Stafford. Even though they were up against Daniel Jones, who, again, looked good. This game went back and forth. And I tell you, right there at the end when Stafford found Atwell and he took off down the field, we was yelling at the TV for sure.
Yeah, we were.
Definitely happy about that. Nothing against the Colts. The Colts are really looking good. I don't even know their coach. I'd probably have to ask. I'd have to watch Pat McAfee's show to find out what his name is. But,
yeah, I don't know.
They shouldn't be disappointed in that game. I mean, it was a hard-fought game both ways. Daniel Jones did what Daniel Jones does now, and Jonathan Taylor run the ball. I mean, it definitely caused some issues for the Rams. Of course, then you got Jared Verse to deal with.
Yeah.
And he got around that corner quite a few times and rattled old Jones. So definitely a good football game. Either team shouldn't have been upset either way.
No,
it was a good game.
I think it was a good matchup. I'm glad the Colts didn't run all over the Rams because then I'd really be concerned of what the heck they're feeding them in Indianapolis. But I was excited for that game. I knew a lot of people probably wouldn't have thought that game was going to be a good one, but the Rams have amazing players. So, I mean, sometimes it's just hard to go against that. Jags, 49ers. Honestly, I'm surprised the Jaguars pulled this one out.
Me too.
I mean, Brock Purdy was back.
I was pulling for the Jags.
I was hoping that they'd bench Purdy and put Jones back in. But...
Matt Jones needed his day to shine, you know?
I mean...
Matt Jones showed off the first week, and then they bench him. And let me tell you something, though. The Jaguars...
Trevor Lawrence.
There are no words. I mean, but I did like at the end of the game, because earlier in the week, defense coordinator for the 49ers, Robert Saleh, was saying that Jaguars used some cheating tactics. And Mr. Cohen didn't take too kind to that after the ball game.
No, he did not.
But he didn't really want to have a confrontation.
No.
He didn't want to get that close to it. But it just goes to show that this is still human beings. Still got human referees, still got human coaches, still got human players. So sometimes our emotions get the best of us.
But I think with this game, it wouldn't have ended this way if Kittle was in and like they had all of their players. The 49ers have so many injuries right now that
they stay injured.
They're pieced together.
They are.
So going into this, did I think the Jags were going to beat them? Absolutely not. But that's just what happens.
They put it together
when you got all your people hurt.
Next game was the Chiefs versus the Ravens. Now, this game, the Chiefs found their offense.
Finally.
The past couple weeks, the Chiefs have not looked like the Chiefs, but the Mahomes and the boys, they put it together. On the other side of the ball,
it was rush hour.
We had to watch Cooper Rush play for the Ravens.
Because, God knows, I've watched enough Cooper Rush in my life.
Oh, my goodness. Because Lamar Jackson got hurt his hamstring. You still had Derrick Henry, who I watched make quite a few runs. You still got Zay Flowers. And they scored points with Cooper Rush. I mean, it wasn't a total blowout, but defensively, something's not clicking.
No, but I feel like that's always been the Ravens' problem. Like, they've got a good defense, but it's like the pieces of the puzzle don't fit together. I think that there's some changes that they could make defensively. I don't truly know if I believe that Lamar actually has a hamstring injury or if they just simply pulled him out. He didn't really do much. I feel like Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers right now are kind of taking that offense over because Lamar's just there. He's not making these crazy plays that are like, oh, he's going to be MVP again. I don't know. I just feel like the Chiefs just simply played better football.
They're also 1-3.
And that's sad.
And
it's really sad.
If you go look at all them statistics, which I don't care to go gather up, but if you go look at how many teams started 1-3 and went to the Super Bowl for one, and then actually won it, I don't know if there is one. Again, you stat people, y'all can go check that out. It is what it is. All right, Bears versus the Raiders. Now, I know that the head coach of the Bears, Ben Johnson, was so worried because Tom Brady was going to be in the Bears facility getting all the information for the Bears. Let me tell y'all something. Tom Brady needs to stay himself inside the Raiders organization and figure out what the hell's going on, because you got Ashon Jeanty, who is a small package fireball running back. Yeah, he's a rookie, but the boy knows how to run.
He does.
And granted, Geno Smith, I mean, he's Geno Smith. Brock Bowers, you got this tight end. Who's calling the plays?
They need help.
They need help.
Pete Carroll, he doesn't seem too excited about the fact that they've got Ashon Jeanty. I mean, they have the pieces to have, I'm not saying they're going to be amazing, but they have the pieces to win. And I will say, this game made me mad because I picked the Raiders because I don't like the Bears. He picked the Bears. Those last 5 minutes, I couldn't even watch it. I was so mad because I was like, wow, the one time I'm like, oh, the Raiders can beat the Bears.
I kept joking. I said, watch. It's going to be, they're going to come back. It's going to, watch. And it did.
I didn't want to watch.
It was ugly, but it did. It did.
All right. Sunday night was probably one of the most emotion-filled nights of my life because why did we tie?
Cowboys versus the Packers ends in a tie, 40-40. Now let's talk about a few good things here. Number one, the Cowboys put up 40 points. Their offense right now is
amazing,
unstoppable. Obviously,
Yeah.
Their defense
awful,
is non-existent. Because they gave up 40 also. Now here's the question I have. I consider myself to be a pretty intelligent person. But I'm not an owner of an NFL team. And you mean to tell me that 32 billionaires, that's with a B, billionaires, cannot come up together and come up with a way for somebody to actually win the ball game? I mean, the crappiest organization in sports, the NCAA, has theirs figured out. Hockey knows what they're doing. Soccer knows what they're doing. Basketball knows what they're doing. Baseball knows what they're doing. But the NFL allows two teams to tie.
It was a great game. It really was. Dak Prescott, he showed up. I mean, Dak is probably one of the most hated quarterbacks in the league simply because he wears a star on his helmet. He didn't have CD. He didn't have some of his offensive linemen. He was out there on what he probably felt like was an island. But George Pickens showed up.
George Pickens did.
We've been needing that. We've been needing the separation for CD to not be playing, for George Pickens to finally be able to show, hey, this is why I'm here. This is why y'all got me. So it was good to see that. Fergie always ends up doing something good. Defensively, Deron Bland was back, but he's limited because he's still injured. I think they benched Diggs. I don't even know. It was bad. It was bad. Micah Parsons got 1/2 sack. I don't know why they called that a sack on Dak Prescott, considering he was running the ball. I don't really consider that a sack. That's a tackle.
He's still behind there. But if you get one hand on him, that's still a half.
Yeah.
Look, both teams are playing to a great ability, obviously. That is an old-time rivalry, Packers and Cowboys.
Now it's even worse.
But for it to end in tie, I was embarrassed for the league myself. it's just going to mess up everything later. That's really all it's going to do. Is instead of all you stats people going to love a tie. You know how many points does that count? You know this is not the NHL. Okay, we don't need to know that third number over there. Football should have a win or lose. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, because Dak is playing some of the best football of his life right now, but you put him against Jalen Hurts, and it's like, oh, but they tied. Remember week 4? They tied.
Yeah, you'll never be up on anybody because you got a tie. No. Anyway. All right, Monday Night Football. The first game was the Dolphins versus the Jets. The Dolphins had on their rivals' uniforms, which
I liked them.
You might see us buy one of those.
Yeah.
That black with the
looked good.
Turquoise and orange.
It looked good.
Now the helmet, I kind of lost the logo in the helmet.
Yeah, a little bit. It was
I didn't
too
really
dark.
see it as well, but
those jerseys are sick.
the jerseys were sick. I will say that. Now, granted, so was the football because it was ugly. Unfortunately, it looks like we have lost Tyreek Hill for the rest of the season. He has torn his ACL, dislocated his kneecap.
His kneecap. He's got other torn ligaments. His knee. It's a miracle it wasn't broken. That was brutal. I don't understand how he went off the field, but that's just Tyreek Hill.
He was just smiling and waving at people and having a good time. I mean,
that's just Tyreek Hill. Yeah. But football-wise, I wanted the Jets to do a little bit more. Justin Fields definitely got pressured. He went out of his way. At one point, he was running backwards and then ended up in a touchdown. It was a good game. It was a slow game. It kind of felt like nothing was happening there for a little bit. The Dolphins didn't really do anything too much to impress me, but hey, they won.
It probably saved Mike McDaniel's job for at least a couple weeks.
Maybe 2, yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, last game of the night. Last night we had the Denver Broncos versus the Joe Burrow-less Bengals.
And you can tell they are without Joe Burrow.
Wow. I mean, look, Browning may be the guy that you want at your picnic. I mean, he may be the nicest guy that is out there. He's not he's not the football player. He's not Joe Burrow, for one. But I like what Jamar Chase said. He said, we out there acting like we don't want it. Mm-hmm. Well, Jamar, you look the same way to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't really impressed with your play. Now granted, is Browning Joe Burrow? Obviously not. Was Bo Nix Bo Nix? Bo Nix played some ball.
Bo Nix was Bo Nix. I mean,
he did. And Sean Payton is, I finally think, getting what he is. People have to buy into his scheme.
Yep.
You can't you would question him a lot, but he has a scheme and it has been successful. It's caused him to win a Super Bowl before when he was with the Saints. So he has a way, he has a plan. But buying into that plan sometimes may seem a little out there. So we hope that the Bengals, recover because they get to go play the Lions this coming week.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. I hope they don't score a single point.
I will.
All right. I am not doing too hot on my picks right now because for some reason I'm 5-7 and Dad is 7-5.
We're not that much better off than each other. I'm 7-5. She's 5-7. So this week's picks, we're going to pick the Cowboys versus the Jets. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Of course I'm taking Dallas.
Next game, we got the Titans versus the Cardinals, and I'm calling it. This is a Titans' first win. They're going to beat the Arizona Cardinals, probably 3-0. But hey, this is going to be that win they need to beat the Cardinals.
I think he's delusional, and I'm going Cardinals because I simply do not think that they know what football is in Tennessee.
Now, Broncos Eagles, and I'll tell you the only reason I'm picking this game, the Broncos defense is serious.
I think they could be a real competitor to the Eagles. I mean, nobody, like I said about one of the other games, nobody's going to think this is a good game. But I'm excited to see.
I think it will be.
I'm excited to see what Bo Nix does. I think that he's going to be able to hold his own against that Eagles defense.
The last game is the Commanders versus the Chargers. I'm sticking with Harbaugh. I'm sticking with Herbert. I'm sticking with McConkey. The Chargers going to pull this one out and beat the Commanders.
And I'm sticking with Mariota. Obviously, I'm not a Commanders fan. They're in my division. Usually, I'd go against them. But what they've got going on over there, Dan Quinn, I don't know. I think they can pull it out. I don't think Justin Herbert, I don't know. I think he might get sacked a couple too many times against the Commanders. So we'll see what happens.
That defense is pretty stout.
It is.
I did hear someone say, going back to the final way to end the ball game, that we should have like a kicker off. You know,
But that's not fair if you're going against Dallas, because you got Brandon Aubrey who could hit a 70 it's nothing.
Then they could have won the game. But I thought that was an interesting concept. You know, they do that in soccer. They do that in hockey at the end of the game, shootout kind of situation.
I wish they'd do something. I mean,
Well, they've basically taken the kicker's responsibilities down, because if you watch the kickoffs now, the only way to make it work is you have to kick it to the players.
Yeah.
You don't want to kick it in the end zone. They're bringing it out to the 35-yard line. You don't want to kick it not in the right part of the zone, because then it's a penalty too. It's coming out to the 40-yard line.
Yep.
So you can watch them. I mean, they're taking like a little 3-step, just a little pooch.
Oh, but hold on, real quick. Let's go back to that hit in the Cowboys game. Golden caught that football.
Oh.
That man caught that football, and then what did he do? He hit a Cavante Turpin.
Oh, man.
And then I cannot say his name. Number 35 on Dallas.
Number 35.
Trucked that man.
Oh, man. He made goal.
He hit that spin and he went boom, and you didn't see him again.
Yeah,
that
awesome.
was the best play of the week. I
was
don't
the
care
best
what
play.
anyone says.
I agree with that.
It was amazing.
I will agree with that. Well, you know, again, it's fun. Every week something happens that comes to light, that brings on new chaos and actually adds to the story for the coming week. So, you know, we just enjoy it. We enjoy doing this podcast, and we hope that you enjoy it too. Like I say, you can check us out on TikTok. You'll see us here on YouTube, and check your social media pages. If you share it, if you follow, if you like, all those things, we really appreciate it. We are, again, keeping it simple this week, and that's how it's going to work. Now, have you got anything else?
No, I think that's it. I'm excited for week 5. I think we've got some good matchups. I think we'll have a lot to talk about next week.
I think week 5 is going to be pretty good. I know there's some few teams on bye, a little early bye, but really excited for the matchups that we got coming up. And, let's go watch them play some football. Until then, we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.